It looks like we're live. Does this thing work?
This thing on.
Is this thing on?
Oh, goodness.
All right. We got a couple people watching just like that because we had a 30-second bumper.
Yay.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to the Kilby Life Live. We got Nellie Needs Meat here again.
Hello.
We're talking about faith, family, food, maybe even fitness. I know some people hit 200 push-ups. I think someone hit 100 push-ups. I mean, I did a bunch of pull-ups today to try to stretch my back out. Not the same?
No.
Okay.
Gotta get on the push-up train.
I'm ready to get off the push-up train because I just don't.
I know. Me too.
I also moved a giant couch by myself. So there's that.
Yeah. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Lucy. All right. So tonight, I want you guys to tell us where you're from and what your favorite color is. I will start. I live in Dayton, Ohio. I'm from Spokane, Washington, and my favorite color is leather.
Is that a color?
Oh, my goodness. I like it.
Okay. Hopefully now everyone's disappointed with me. No, I've been telling my kids that my favorite color is leather, and they're just like, they have no idea what I'm talking about. They're like, Dad, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm like, yep, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sydney, Australia. Welcome.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
Told you there's people from Australia in here. Jersey. And red.
Very cool.
All right, today we're going to be, it's a Q&A.
Yeah, so ask us your cues so we can have some A's.
Yeah, make sure you put question or a Q.
Favorite color, medium rare.
That's
That's
your
a
one.
good answer.
I might have to steal that one.
I like that.
Medium rare.
Michigan, Pennsylvania.
That's my friend.
Yeah,
Hi,
Ashley. Yeah,
Ashley, hello.
very cool.
I'm also streaming this live on my Facebook, so this is going to be weird.
Oh,
I never use my Facebook, so just to post pictures of myself when I
wear wigs.
Oh yeah.
Although I guess you do that on YouTube now too,
Yeah.
so it's not quite as.
I got wigs in these down here, so I got a whole plethora.
Yeah.
All right, so as the questions start coming in, I was going to tell everyone that this next Monday, July 31st at 8:00 p.m., I'm going to be going live again, but this time it's going to be with Everyday Carnivore, Amanda from Carnivorous Me,
I follow her.
former fat girl, I forget her, I think her name's Nicole, and maybe some other people. I'm not exactly sure, so we're going to make sure you put that on your calendar. Should be interesting.
Very cool.
I mean, I hope it's interesting.
Amanda's story is really something. I've been watching her since she started, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. She's like, I've shared some of her videos.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hopefully someone sees this. Because if you're on walking around in a walker in your 30s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lily, I'm not sure. Sorry about that.
One of the things that I like about her videos is like she brings up things that I never would have thought would be a problem when you're overweight, because everyone's like, oh, just because you're overweight doesn't mean that you're not healthy. It's like she lays it all out,
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter if I didn't have this, and this problem, I was still very unhealthy.
Yeah. All right, so we got some questions. Here we go. You ready? What did your life look like before being on the carnivore diet, both mentally and physically?
I assume they're talking to me.
I'm going to assume because...
I mean, I thought I was doing a good job. I was on and off keto. I tried to be good. I mean,
Yeah.
I tried to eat well. But I didn't know what that meant. You just eat what, I thought healthy was just not eating fast food. Essentially, you cook stuff at home. Don't stuff yourself. But I was like the type of person that would earn every meal. So it's like, okay, I worked hard. So instead of just getting like one hamburger, I'd buy two.
Yeah.
It was always like the most, and I'd have to finish my plate because
that's what you do.
Because that's what you do. So you don't get a whooping.
Yeah.
And physically, I've always been pretty strong. I've been moving furniture for a long time, but I could feel a definite decline. I kept declining, and I say, like, I thought I was getting old. I'm getting old. Like, how long am I going to be able to do this? But I realized I was also getting sick, and I would sweat like crazy when I used to not sweat at all. And I was like, oh, there's something. And I'd see these other people like not sweating. I'm like, yeah, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
And mentally, a lot more ups and downs.
Yeah. Sure.
I still have depressive tendencies. I'm not sure if it's just genetics or just past
the way you're
trauma,
wired.
or
Yeah.
I like to go, wear myself out, but I've been more even. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say that's very accurate.
Yeah, if I'm lying, this is my wife. She'll tell the truth.
I will tell the truth. Yeah. And I think, we tried different diets on and off too before you started carnivore, but they were generally fairly underinformed. So it's like, hey, I had this idea, or maybe we could try that, but none of them were really well thought out or had any amount of research behind them, which I think is a huge difference for when you did carnivore.
Yeah, I mean, I started researching more.
Yeah. Ashley wants to know what got you started on being a healthier you.
I don't know if this one's for this one could be for anybody.
I was going to say she knows my story, so
is this your
probably
friend?
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my friend. So I'm going to say the question's for you, Erin. She knows my story.
Oh, okay. Well, why not for my wife?
Because I'm not as interesting, but I started doing keto 2 years ago in June, actually, because he challenged me to do it. I had just had our 8th baby and was carrying around a lot of extra weight. And honestly, well, my mind knew I needed to start doing something. I may have thrown a little like pity party pretty much every day for the week until I started. We had gone on vacation, and then the day we got back was basically when we were supposed to start. And I was not excited about it. I have a sweet tooth. I like baked goods. So I knew it was going to be a huge adjustment. Yeah, right? I think that's why we get along so well. And he doesn't have that. So I'm like, this is going to be easy for you and horrible for me. And I was very mature. But I feel like now going into it, while I still have a sweet tooth, I still like baked goods, I have a lot more self-control than I ever did before. And I have lost the baby weight. I'm back down to where I feel comfortable in my skin, which I didn't then. So.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think I've had conviction. I found a journal from 2004 of me saying that I need to be more healthy.
Yeah.
And that's, almost 20 years ago. And it's something that I've struggled with, but I didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In the last time I was on, I forgot, there was one detail that I thought was important that I didn't say last time, but in the end of 2018, I don't know, it's like God had been convicting me for a while about self-control. We would buy these bags of chocolates. I mean, like little chocolates, right? But, and they fit, if you're doing calorie counting, you can fit them into your macros, So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have one. And I ended up eating 5. And I could not control that at all. And I started praying and saying, all right, Lord, you know what? You say we need to have self-control. This is one area that I've been unwilling to give up my control. And I didn't even have control. So, I mean, that was definitely a delusion,
Mm-hmm.
But I started praying, and I actually started reading the Bible. I was reading the Bible before that, but I was like, let me just pray and like intentionally see what God can show me. And it took me a full year of praying and reading the Bible before I got to the point where I was ready for that information that I needed to change. So I'm that stubborn. You know, it takes me at least a year to fully hang on to something sometimes, but it works, you know.
Yeah. We got another one here. Thoughts on the lion diets?
That is the ultimate elimination diet.
So tell us, in case we don't know, what's the lion diet?
Ruminant meat, not rudiment, because that's, you know, like that's musical terminology. It's ruminant meat. So like a cow, bison, camel, if you have them, goat, lamb, yeah, salt and water, and that's all you eat.
Right.
And that's the lion diet. That's the most simple one, except for people are like, well, that's all you eat. Yes, that's all you eat. And
Aaron filmed it wasn't it back in January? He did like a daily.
Yes, I did a daily vlog of that. I ate and showed every single meal and uploaded a video every single day in January of eating the lion diet.
Yeah.
I like butter too much. I can't.
Yeah, by the end of it, I was like, I just want an egg.
Yeah, something different.
Nice. Yeah, you're saying, so Ricky is saying having a little trouble with energy and wondering if having breakfast is slowing down. That's interesting. Do you find that you see a difference if you eat breakfast or not?
Sometimes. So my normal protocol is try to fast until like 16, 18, or 20 hours or so, depending on the day. I try not to eat until lunchtime. Mm-hmm. But some days, if I know I'm going to have a busy day, I'll have a little bit of breakfast.
Yeah.
And because essentially I don't want to just be out there and not be able to make it home for lunch and have to skip the meal while dripping sweat in the heat and stuff like that. It might be fear-based. I'm not sure. I've kicked around changing just to OMAD or eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but making sure I just did small meals. I'm not sure what I need and my body wants. I'm still experimenting with that.
Yeah.
Because interestingly, I saw a comment earlier about people that might be like hyper responders, that there's some type of correlation, maybe that like they have a higher glucose, and if you eat smaller meals throughout the day, it'll even that out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things. Be the citizen scientist and try it out. And if you're eating like a carnivore diet, if you're like sticking to those parameters, you're not just stay in those parameters and switch up the times and just see how you feel. And obviously it's gonna change day by day, year, season by season, and stuff like that. So just pay attention, but don't worry about it too much.
You don't have to stay in like, you know, a little box. You can experiment with the numbers and stuff and see what works for you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I find is like, it's hard. Well, not for everyone, but for me, it's hard for me not to want to go hard mode. Because
make this as difficult as possible.
Because I want to see the results as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but I'm pretty sure that the hare always loses and the tortoise wins. So
now, would you say lion diet obviously is a good elimination diet if you're not trying to use it as elimination? Because we're saying we're going to miss bacon, eggs, and butter, which bacon and eggs are not on lion diet, right?
Correct.
But let's say I wanted to do lion diet, but I was like, I don't get enough fat, and I want to keep my butter. How do you feel about that?
Well, then it wouldn't be lion diet.
Well, it wouldn't be lion diet, but would it?
It would be just carnivore diet.
Okay, so it would not be good.
You don't know this stuff already?
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and
we're looking,
and the reason that they say like bacon and eggs is because it's the stuff that's closest to a 1-to-1 ratio of like protein and fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
So experiment, but don't eat eggs because it gives you rashes.
Yeah, I can't eat eggs anymore. Fun.
Sad.
And I'm not sure like cooked into things, like baked into things, if they will still be a problem. But I don't eat baked goods that much anyway. So
I wonder if you tried bringing back the yolk, if that would.
I don't
a lot
know.
Of people say
I tried quail eggs and they were not okay either. So
Well, just the yolk.
yeah, so I may try just the yolks, but we'll see. I don't know. We got a question here from Josh, who I believe is from Iowa.
Yeah, Josh has been on this channel before.
Yay!
What's up, Josh?
With the summer heat, do any of you feel you have to modify the amount of salt you use in your diet?
I don't. I just, if something doesn't taste salty enough, I just add salt. It doesn't seem to be just because it's hotter. Mine fluctuates throughout the month. So
yeah, I feel like I'm the same way. I never really paid attention to it. I just salt until it tastes salty enough and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Possibly more electrolytes because you're sweating more, but not necessarily as a flavoring. Big difference.
I have noticed I need more salt. I thought I was eating too much salt, and my last labs came back like nearing low. I'm like, oh, is that why I'm getting leg cramps? Yeah, because I'm working and walking every day and out in the heat and sweating, and I need way more than I think I do. But there's just still that thing in the back of my mind is like, salt's bad.
Yep.
I even got a book that says salt is not bad, but still in my head, too much salt seems bad.
Yeah.
But
it's like trying to get past the butter idea that butter's bad.
I would say the best tool you have for salt intake is your tongue.
Yeah.
Try some salt water if it tastes, but all salt's not the same.
Yeah.
So like iodized salt and kosher salts like that, it's not going to be the same. Get like a pink Himalayan salt, red mint salt, or something like that, and drink it that way. And if it tastes good, keep going.
Yeah.
And if it tastes too salty, maybe you don't need as much. That's the best tool, I think.
Iodized tastes terrible now. When was the last time you had iodized salt? It's terrible.
It's been a while.
I would just throw that on the ground to like ward off something. I don't know what you could ward off that stuff because it's warding me off because I'm not eating that crap. After getting good salt, I can't do it. I didn't even know there was like, hoity-toity salts out there that.
Well, we were talking about that last time we went on vacation, and I brought salt with me. I'm that person now. And heavy cream. We packed heavy cream for coffee for me and salt. Also for my coffee mainly. But
I took heavy cream over to Ashley's house.
Nice. Yeah, she just said on here that you have, where'd it go? She's got to leave, but she's going to try and make it back. But you have taught her so much about diets. You're the best.
Make sure you hit that.
Didn't see. It's just I got the comment.
Thanks, Ricky.
It. Yes. Yeah, so cramping, I can't do that. Hold on. Technology. Mentioning cramping, needing more salt because of that. So
yeah. I'm coming out with the video about this camping trip I had, and I woke up with leg cramps and I was trying to swim and my legs are cramping. I'm like, because I didn't bring any salt.
What's wrong with you, bro?
And I got dehydrated.
I don't know how you even made it.
Huh?
I don't even know how you made it.
I have no idea.
Now, you've been trying some of the Redmond's smoke salts.
Correct.
Do you have a favorite so far?
All of them.
All of them?
They're all good.
Okay. Because I saw the cherry smoke salt mentioned.
I have that. I love it.
I like the one that's all like a campfire.
Chef's Blend, cherry, hickory are all the ones I've tried. And I put it in my hot water in the morning and drink it like that. It's like a hot campfire and it's delicious. I mean, out of all the things that I've had is like try the coffee supplements. That has been it.
Yep.
That has been the one that I've liked the most.
Yep. Swimming, getting leg cramps, not a good idea.
Yeah. Fortunately, I'm tall and I stay in the shallow end.
Yep. You just stand up. We're okay. All right. For anybody that wasn't here right at the beginning, any questions you have about carnivore or what do we say? Carnivore, family, food, maybe even fitness. But feel free to throw a comment in there. We're happy to answer your questions as we go.
And we want to know where you're from and what your favorite color is.
Yep.
All right. as some of these comments are going to come in, so I have this guy named Billy. I'm just going to use his real name. You guys don't know him, but I've been coaching him, and we've been texting back and forth, and he's become one of those people that's like, you go out and you're like, someone's like, help me with this, and then next thing you know, they're helping you as much or even more. Or, it's good that two walk together, because if one falls down, the other one's there to pick him up. And Billy's like, he just sent me a message saying, I started at 320, now I'm 276.
Wow, very nice.
And so he's been working really hard trying to actually give the carnivore diet a real shot.
Yep.
And to get in, we have similar paths, and it's just one of those awesome things. And we're just talking about accountability. Yeah. I know that, my wife and
this one
and Nellie here are chatting all the time and having accountability. My wife is, because of Nellie giving her accountability, my wife is like, yeah, I did 100 push-ups today. And I'm like, what? You don't do push-ups? Don't beat me up. You get all jacked and beat me up.
Probably not. But yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, having accountability and somebody that I'm willing to be honest with has really helped me, first of all, pay attention to what I'm eating and how it makes me feel, and even quantities and stuff. Like, I'm just much more aware of it, and not in like an obsessive kind of way, but in a, this matters and it's worth some of my attention, Yeah. And then, especially on days where I'm like, I'm alive, you don't want to know what I ate, because I have those occasionally. It's nice to have the encouragement, you know what, okay, so today wasn't the best day, let's reset, and what's tomorrow gonna look like? And that's been really good for me too, like not spending a ton of time beating myself up, but remembering, like, you said this one time, like, the beautiful thing about this diet is I don't have to do anything magical to reset. There's no formula to work out. I just eat meat, or I can eat whatever meat the next meal, and I'm back on track. Like, it's not
just the next meal, that's it.
It's not some big thing.
So I went on that carnivore diet, so it essentially inspired my wife to do strict carnivore a couple of times, but mostly keto, ketovore. I would say more ketovore, but she doesn't have the same problems with like diabetes as I do. And you probably never will. Because
hopefully not.
Now. And so that's a beautiful thing. And every time I say stuff like that, I'm like, this is the weirdest thing in my life I've ever gone through in my life, because when I did the carnivore diet, I didn't realize, after a little bit, like, it's been 16 months now that I'd be online talking about it, and it inspired my wife to change the way she thinks about food. And it's not like I don't boss her around, I'll tell you that much. She can do what she wants, but sometimes I get a little bit snippy. I'm like, she want to eat that? Why do you want to eat that? Because that's all a bunch of crap.
Well, but and it's not very, I don't think it's super frequently, but like I use cream in my coffee, which a lot of people are like, that's not great because it's dairy. I use flavoring sometimes in my coffee. So I still eat stuff that is not super clean, not like 100%. I know this is good for me. And I'm hoping that one day I will continue to phase some of that stuff out. For now, I feel like it's a compromise where I'm not eating 15 chocolate chip cookies. I'm just using, a teaspoon of flavoring in my water or in my coffee in the morning. And I'm okay with that for right now. So long term, potentially it'll change more. But for right now, in order to give myself kind of the freedom to stay on track, that's kind of where I've landed. So
I feel like there's certain things you have to do.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say real quick, like, there's certain things that you do make concessions for so that it's sustainable for you in particular. So I mean, I do the same thing. I have certain things that I feel like.
Right. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Okay. Ashley was asking about iodized salt. Couldn't shut it down, so you've been listening. Why is iodized salt bad? I've never heard that before.
So there's anti-caking agents that they put in the salt. If you read the ingredients on the salt container. They have to list what they're putting in there. So it's not just salt. And you don't want to be putting those things in your body. There's videos I've been meaning to send you about salt, but there's videos you can look up about the problems with salt, and particularly iodized salt. So when I started the diet, I switched to the Himalayan salt, which I didn't understand why everyone in the keto world was using pink Himalayan salt until I found out that it's pink because it has potassium in it, and that's one of the things that you should be getting. The iodine, I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I know that there's some people who do take iodine drops. I don't do it. You can get iodine from your meat, and you can get it from seafood. So as long as you're feeling pretty good, just using like the Himalayan salt or what's the other guy? Redmond. Those are really good salts, and the food tastes better, in my opinion. We noticed that there was a difference.
Yeah, there's definitely a flavor difference.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, pink Himalayan salt works. The Redmond's is just a very well-known brand that a lot of us enjoy. So
yeah,
it's good.
A lot of us, we live inland. I don't know if the cows I'm eating are from inland or near the ocean, so if they're getting iodine, that's why I adopted Fish Fridays.
I like Fish Friday. I'm a fan.
I need to start doing that myself, just because I do enjoy fish sometimes, but it's like really the shrimp I want. I want shrimp at least once.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like that. Let's see. What do we got over here? So do you find when you are coaching people that it also provides that same kind of accountability where, and I mean, I would assume if I was checking in once a week or once every couple weeks, like I would be paying a little bit more attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that when I'm on that phone call or, video chat or whatever, I'm not like, so. Plus, I also find if I'm paying for something, like if I'm, if that's a paid service, then I'm more likely to take it seriously with that accountability.
Yeah, so a lot of people I find are like alone in their diets.
Yeah.
They're like the lone person out there around a bunch of other people eating all these other foods, and they found a way of eating for themselves that's like drastically help them in their health and the way they think about food, and they've dropped some chains in their lives, and then they need someone to talk to about these things and kind of wrestle through some of the decisions and stuff like that. And the accountability is good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good. I mean, there are dangers to accountability sometimes because people will fail you.
Yeah.
You will fail you. People will fail you. I always think, but God never fails. So it needs to be between ultimately with you and God, but pray that God sends you friends or accountability to help you stay on track.
Right.
And I'm always hesitant when someone's like, I just don't want to let you down. I'm like, you're going to let me down.
And I think what's important there is you're gonna let us down. You're gonna let him down. You're gonna. Yeah. I'm sure I've let Nelly down when I'm like about that, but then don't hide. That's the next thing where it's like, okay, I am gonna fail. I'm gonna mess up, but then I can't hide. Like I gotta keep going. And I think that's really important too. Where if it's somebody you're talking to regularly and then you have this epic failure, don't shrink away in that. Just own it and move on.
Yeah,
the temptation is to try to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Because you don't want people to see your faults. And it's like, no. Get them out there. The sooner you get it, it's like pulling a tooth. Just get it out there as soon as you can. And then it loses power. The problem loses power once you get it out.
There's a drum party at the park. Someone's practicing for school or something. I can hear her banging out there. Hey, Ian. Good evening.
Yeah. Hi.
Me and Ian have chatted before. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Do you have something to share?
Yeah. So this is just something that popped up on my phone earlier from like the World Carnivore Tribe. It was a guy talking about a personal trainer. He's like, I've been working out all this stuff, and I went to the gym to find a personal trainer, and the guy came out and he told the guy that he didn't eat carbs and stuff like that. And the guy got mad at him and told him like that he only knows how to essentially train people with carbs, and he needs to get results, and you can't train without carbs. And the guy's like, he essentially said they both walked away irritated and mad with each other at each other. And they're like, they both felt sorry for each other. And I just popped in my head. I'm like, the need, we're talking about accountability and stuff like that, but there's also a need to have trainers out there and people that understand why some people need to go low carb.
Or doctors.
Or doctors, yeah. Oh, snap.
Don't know that we want to open up that can of worms.
Just roasted.
Hi, Carnivore Kip.
Hey,
Sorry,
Kip.
I interrupted you.
Kip is crushing it. He's out there. I just saw he's jogging. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kip is he's crushing it. I'm very proud of you, man.
Yeah. So Ashley wants to know, if you can't eat most fish, except for like crab and shrimp, what would be a good substitute?
For iodine?
You need to substitute.
If is it the iodine that you're still worried about? Like trying to get in enough iodine? I would say don't worry about it as long as you're eating plenty of meat. Because I go long stretches where I don't have any fish. So it's like I just want to have more fish because I like fish. So not specifically for the iodine.
Yeah. And Ricky's got quite a few suggestions here for you. Salmon belly lox, either in scrambled eggs or as a side, and then sardines and olive oil. If you need sardines, you can come to our house and get some. We have some left.
This is my sardine face now after that fast. Oh my goodness.
I noticed something happened.
We don't talk about sardines.
Yeah.
I understand aversions now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love salmon. That's my go-to. Salmon, shrimp. Those are the things I like. Butter and shrimp. And if I'm feeling a little bit sassy, I'll put a little bit of curry powder on it, and I'll cry in my bowl. It's so good.
I just posted a recipe for like spicy shrimp salad on my channel tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, Ian, sardines are great until you eat only sardines for 3 days straight.
Then you smell like sardines.
Oh, and your hands smell like sardines. I made sardine jerky and crunched on that, eyeballs and everything. I just went for it. So
I did not participate in that challenge.
yeah, Carnivore Kip said this was his first jog in over a decade. Yeah. Well, I did one pull up at the park a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I jumped up on something and pulled myself up there. I was like, whoa. So at work, there's a ladder up on this thing. I was like, I'm going to see if I can do pull-ups. I did 10 pull-ups and I was like, I'm not even sure. It's been 20 years since I got drunk and climbed a tree.
Nice.
It's been a long time.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so Aaron asked where y'all are from and what your favorite color is. I want to know what you put in your coffee because I see butter, I see salt. I've already confessed that I put flavoring in it. I do salt and heavy cream. Yeah, so I'm curious how we all take our coffee. What do you put in your coffee, Miss Nelly?
I put heavy cream, not all the time. For a while there, I was doing so good. I was just doing black coffee with some butter. And then certain flavors, like I only ever drink flavored coffee. So certain flavors of coffee are just too strong. So I would put like a little bit of heavy cream and then just lately it's been every single cup has it. I measure it. I measure it. I do like 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, then butter, salt, and scoop of collagen.
Okay.
Collagens just make it nice.
Yeah. Say black coffee. I'm curious.
Black coffee, yeah. I'll switch between heavy cream, which I tell myself I'm not going to do, but and then butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. This doesn't necessarily apply because it's not coffee, but like that smoked salted hot water that I drink, I put some Wagyu beef tallow in it, and like it immediately tastes like bone broth.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say that's probably where it went.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my supplement. I've gone. People that have watched this channel, like I've gone back and forth with coffee and stuff like that, and I've been trying to make sure I don't drink coffee until like at least 90 minutes into the day. I heard that like that Andrew Huberman stuff. He's like, if you're going to drink it, like do it later. So I've been experimenting with a little bit then. Has it made a difference? I don't know. I still get tired about the time it's time to go to work every day. So what's up with that? And then I rally but I get up way earlier than I feel like I've already done 10,000 things before work every day.
Yeah. So black coffee with butter, black coffee, flavored coffee. Haven't had coffee in 6 months. How's that going? I gotta know.
Wow.
I keep thinking I need to cut back, and then I'm like, maybe not today.
I think about it, and then I laugh about it, and then I forget about it.
Yes. Ashley, you mentioned flavored creamers. We used to do flavored creamer way back in the day. And honestly, after switching to heavy whipping cream, and even if you use a little bit of a sugar-free flavoring, like if you still need to keep that sweetness, it doesn't quite taste like plastic like the flavored creamers do. And I didn't realize it until I started, I drank one, I think at church a while after I had switched to heavy whipping cream. And then I was like, oh, this is gross. So if you let your taste buds adjust, it's better.
I made my wife give up that creamer stuff.
And by made, he means strongly encouraged.
Yeah. But if you read the ingredients, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I just learned how to read ingredients last year, essentially.
Yeah.
I obviously, read ingredients, and people say read ingredients, but until you really read the ingredients and know what you're looking at and what it really is, it doesn't, you just walk around with blinders on. But I do remember doing the heavy cream for a while, and it's like, man, this is lame. And then I tried the other creamer again. I was like, this literally tastes like plastic.
Yeah.
I don't know what carcinogens and cancer taste like, but I think if it does taste like something, it tastes like this.
and for the record, I am not picking on you because I was in the same boat. I have had lots of littles. You do what you need to do. I totally get it. Yeah. I'm just saying, once I switched, it was so much better. It tasted so much better.
You just got to wait for your palate to change. Yeah. That's the hardest part.
Yep.
That's why I would say just go to black coffee. So then when you add anything else on it, you'll be like,
this is amazing.
Yeah. Or it's too much. It's too much. It's like, oh, I don't like this anymore. That's too sweet. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know?
Yeah. I found since I was doing the black coffee with butter for a while and then I switched back to adding heavy cream, I need a lot less. So, I mean, I've been doing the 2 tablespoons, but I could even go down to 1 tablespoon and it's just perfect. Funny how you change.
Yeah. I have found too, when I do the strict carnivore for a while, I use way less sweetener in my coffee after that. And even less cream. I just find I need less of it to kind of get that same satisfaction from it, if you will.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, bring on the questions.
Yep. I have found black coffee was only good when I added salt to it, which I think was something you had suggested, Nellie. It was to put some salt in black coffee when I was doing strict carnivore the first time.
Yeah, that was me.
So much better. So now, even when I'm using cream and stuff, I still put salt in it. I just think it tastes better.
It tastes so good.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. Carnivore for 3 weeks now, lost 8 pounds, but main improvement is feeling great inside with no anxiety or depression. I'm hooked. That sounds like a win.
That's awesome.
Yes. If you could say no anxiety, no depression, that feels so good. It feels so good. Yeah. I know exactly what that feels like, and there's nothing like it.
Yep.
And I've noticed I'll still have down times, but they're dulled.
Yes.
I don't have the same swings or extremes, and that's great, because if you've endured something like that and you get freedom from it, even if it comes back just a little bit, you're like, that's nothing.
I can handle this. Yeah.
All I need is a good steak, maybe a nap, some time away from my kids.
A little bit of quiet. Yeah.
Maybe some push-ups, 100 push-ups or so.
Yeah.
Yep. I found one of the first results that I saw when we started doing keto was I could actually think. I didn't feel like my brain was foggy all the time. And that was right after we had baby 8. And so we had lots of little kids. She didn't sleep well ever. But I feel like I finally got a little bit of brain function back when we switched to the low carb. So, yeah, so you're right. It becomes normal instead of I'm on this diet now. This is just how I eat, and it's a mindset shift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to eat enough still. Any suggestions? More steak.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's budgets out there trying to eat enough still. The things that fill me up specifically that I notice are ground beef. And if I add cream cheese to it, well, I think it kind of bloats me and makes me feel full. So I'm not sure that's really good nutrition advice, but I don't feel like eating afterwards. But he's saying he's struggling to eat enough. Just, I would say, add more eggs and butter, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon.
My question would be too: are you chasing numbers? Like when you say you're struggling to eat enough, is it that you have a number in your mind of this is how much I should be eating, or is it that you're just not? Are you not getting full enough, or?
That is a good question. Like, is there a number that you're looking for, Ian?
But
because if you're not hungry, don't eat.
Right. There's a lot of people out there that feel like, well, I'm not eating a pound of meat for every meal, so there must be something wrong. It's like, well, if you can't eat a pound of meat, don't worry about it. You eat what you can eat, and then wait until you're hungry again. But don't chase a number or someone else's version of the diet. This diet is highly customizable to you.
Okay, so we're saying eating one meal a day at the moment since work tires me out. So, like when we get home from work, we don't want to eat because we're tired. Then that might be something where you make more of your one meal so that you have something quick to heat up. That might help.
One of the things I did, like I would bring like hard-boiled eggs with me to work. Mm-hmm. Just like, even if I wasn't necessarily hungry, but there was days like I knew it was going to be a tough day. I was like, I'm going to eat these hard-boiled eggs because I don't want to crash. And so I've had to do that.
Yeah. And I have found I am very likely to eat, not to skip a meal because I probably wouldn't, but I'm more likely to eat junk if I don't have a plan, or especially if I'm tired or I'm in a rush or something like that. So I always try to have something that would be quick to heat up, just so that I don't get caught up in the moment and like, oh, well, there's nothing else I can do. I'll try again tomorrow.
I guess meatballs in my freezer.
I guess, Ian, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Or do you think you're just not eating enough?
We're waiting.
We're waiting for you to type now.
No pressure.
He's like, I stepped away.
Yep. And Lisa, I see your comments about iodine. We had a conversation about getting that from fish and from some other sources. So yes, we know that iodine is very important for some people.
If you do a quick search for what foods contain iodine, meat is always in there. So.
Meat is always in there. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's check this one out. Mm-hmm. I live in a house with 4 other people eating the toxic American diet. Wife is slowly starting to see the benefits, but the 3 kids are not on the lifestyle. Only time will tell. I am curious how old your kids are.
Yeah. So let me just say real quick, too. I have 3 kids, 21, 18, and 16. And when I started this diet, they were eating ice cream every single night. And if I had said, there's never ice cream coming in this house ever again, my husband would still buy it for them. So that, but the thing is, over the past 4 years, I give them the information and then I let it go. I drop it. And over the past 4 years, ice cream's gone. My husband will buy it for himself sometimes, but I will also make like a keto version so that he can have it if he wants it. The other kids can have it if they want it. So it's, I'm slowly changing their diet without necessarily cutting out all of the stuff.
Yeah, so more is caught than taught. when it comes to kids.
Okay, kids are all adults, 31, 29, 27.
Yeah. So at that point, they're going to do what they're
going to do what they want. Yeah. But they're going to see
it's still more caught than taught. So I have this thing going on in my house right now where my kids are kind of, I want to say they're upset with me, but some of them are just kind of like having bad attitudes about the fact that their dad's only eating carnivore. And so like I was always afraid that pendulum would swing and they'd be like, well, I'm going to eat opposite of that. But I'm just hoping that like I'm not forcing them to do it, but I am making them make some different choices sometimes.
Yeah.
While they're in my house right now, while I can, but I'm not gonna just yell at them for wanting sweets and all those types of things. But I can be in better control of what I let them at this young age have access to. Not all the time.
Yep.
I buy so many eggs. I buy 180 eggs, like at least once, maybe twice a week, because they go through so many eggs and they're like, we hate eggs. It's like, can we have oatmeal again? I thought you hated oatmeal. So just keep pressing on and being a good example, eating good, nutritious food, and people will see it and they'll notice a change in you, and it will be impossible for them not to be changed by it.
Yeah.
They can't help it. It's changed by proxy. Yeah. There was something that you said early on. Last year, one of your videos, you were talking about taking the kids camping. And, that was normally a time for like getting some junk food to take on the trip. You said like this time around, it's torn with that idea of wanting them to still enjoy the trip. So you bought them grapes instead. And I thought that was such a good idea, because I'm like, well, grapes may not be perfect. There are purists out there who go, we shouldn't feed them grapes either. But I'm like, that's a fabulous idea. Grapes are still sweet, and that's what I've done with my girls too. It's like, it is a treat to have. I bought plums last week for them. So the funny thing is, they never get eaten. Like, still in this house, the one thing we throw out is like fruits and vegetables. So it's sad.
Yeah. Janet, I want to get to your question, but I want to know what results you're looking for, and then I'm going to put it up here. And then we're going to switch back to Ian real quick. Okay. He's saying he's rarely hungry after work, sometimes has breakfast sausages at work, then by the time he gets home, just wants to go to sleep.
Okay, well then go to sleep and then wake up. If you're hungry, eat some food.
Yep, and I think having something to take with you during the day, that way if you get hungry, you have an option.
Yeah. And it's okay. You're doing good. Your body your body knows when you're hungry, and you'll know when they eat, because I'll restrict some of my eating sometimes, then all of a sudden like, whoa, I'm hungry. But then after, I've noticed on like a carnivore diet, I've gotten my nutrition. So I sometimes I could feel like I could just go forever without eating. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to eat because like, I know I might get hungry tomorrow. So I might as well eat dinner now because I might get stuck at work without food. So I'll eat dinner. So it'll carry me on till lunch the next day, or maybe even dinner, because sometimes I cannot eat lunch. And if I forget to bring stuff, and I never run through McDonald's and get patties.
Nope. Silver Creek Aquatics said, new follower, welcome. Found you on a quail channel. Glad I did. We're good people.
That's funny.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And I'll show this other comment.
I'll be at Quail Con here.
Yeah.
For too long.
Lives on a bird farm, raised tropical fish and tropical aquatic plants. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. I just put like 120 eggs in the incubator today.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We like it. All right. I'm going to go up to this comment up here. Janet says she's been doing keto for 25 years now, which is incredible, by the way. Carnivore for 3 weeks and eat one, sometimes twice a day, not seeing any results yet. And again, I would say it kind of depends on what results we're looking for.
3 weeks is on. That's true, but three weeks is you're just.
Okay, here we go. Energy level hasn't picked up. Not weight loss. Usually eat half a ribeye with butter every day.
Okay, this is the same comment.
Yeah,
okay,
so together.
Sorry, I'm a little slow. I would say you just need to give it more time. I remember about being 3 weeks in when I did the diet, and I was like, is this like, I thought I was going to be fit as a fiddle and within 30 days and drop all my weight. And I was like, well, this hasn't happened yet, but about the fourth week, I started noticing a difference. That's when like my brain fog left. I noticed I wasn't depressed as much. I was more even. That's when it started changing, but my weight loss I didn't notice it. It was like the day I noticed like my shirt was loose. I was like, oh, this is weird. I was like, because that happened way quick as, 60, 70 days like that. I was like, this is okay. Now I see something. And it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah. If you ever check out Two Crazy Ketos, they did beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I think it was for 60 some days. And while Joe lost weight, I think Rachel only lost a single pound.
Okay.
It's a good thing they took before and after pictures.
When they lose weight.
Yeah, it's amazing. But they took pictures, like before and after pictures, and she did a whole total body recomp just in that short amount of time, and it was absolutely amazing. So it's like, don't go by the scale. Don't worry about the scale. Take your measurements, take pictures, and give it a little more time. If you can, like, avoid the scale for a while, and just so that that's not messing with your mind and making you think I should.
Yeah.
But I had a question for you, Janet. When you say that, I think you said you were eating OMAD. Are you doing that just for the sake of doing OMAD, or are you doing that because you're really not hungry?
Well, there's another comment here. It says hunger has definitely decreased. So my guess would be that's why.
All right.
Turn off
this.
That
answers my question.
Okay. And when you get back, I have a comment that I think you'll really enjoy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Ian, you said scale isn't the most important thing, and I think that's so true. I feel like I get really hung up on that, but
So do I still.
Even when the scale doesn't move, I can still see changes in my body and how I feel and how I look in my clothes and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely not the only indicator that things are going well.
Yeah, body recomp is a real thing, and I've actually been going through it because I hit 230 pounds like a year ago, and I'm still 230 pounds, and I've been working out, and I guarantee I've gained some muscle. My brain hasn't grown, that's for sure.
All right, here we go. You ready for this?
Okay.
There's one worry I have. Being total carnivore, I've not had any bowel movements in days, but I feel fine, not bloated at all. Is this normal?
Yes.
Should I go play your video?
Yeah, play my video.
Let's see.
Here we go.
This one?
Yep. Thought I would take you along and show you where you could be pooping regularly after a while on the carnivore diet. Hey, you want to try the dinosaur?
Anyway.
Just waiting for the chance to use that.
Yep.
So the reason I was doing that, because I realized I started getting more regular going to the bathroom. There was times that I was going every 2-3 days for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so especially if you're just starting, from what I gather, that's fairly normal.
And if you really just want something to come out your butt, eat a stick of butter a day.
We can't edit this, hon.
I don't want to edit that. I'm talking at my reading level.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I'm just I don't got time to beat around the bush.
Yeah. Yep, here we go. Aaron says there's a lot of healing that takes place over the first year and continuing. And I think he has seen that for sure. Like, we're going to, your plan was to heal your body in 30 days. And you're like, 90 days. And now we're 17 months in and still 16 months. I don't remember what you said. Sorry.
16 months.
16.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and so still working on that healing, and we just did a labs video where you start to see your numbers kind of come back down to where we want them to be. So yeah, it's not a quick fix, but it is, or it seems like it will be a good long-term fix.
Yeah, and I think
depending on what results you're looking for.
Yeah, the mental healing results are also great.
Yeah.
even the way you think about food, because everyone thinks like there's no way you could eat just meat and live, but you actually can, and not just live, actually
enjoy it
and thrive and find some health that you've been missing, and potentially find some things that you're allergic to that you just been taking pills for because no one bothered to take the time and invest on you and realize that you're allergic to something. Yeah. Like eggs.
Who knew?
Yeah. That's one of the great things, though. Like when the diet gets more narrow, you can more easily pick out the things that are causing the problem.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, which I think is why, going back to the beginning of this conversation, why lion diet could be a really good option if you do find that your body's reacting to a lot of things. That will cut out everything. And then if you start adding things back in, you're like, oh, this is not a good idea.
But it is very difficult to be self-disciplined enough to add stuff in alone.
Yes. It reminds me of like getting a baby to eat new foods. You're supposed to introduce like one every week or two. I didn't never do well, but I think it's hilarious how the carnivore community is so willing to talk about their poo. Just watching the comments. I like it.
Well,
good job, guys.
Crap out.
It does. We only have a few minutes left.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the live you have coming up again on Monday for people that maybe weren't here?
Yeah, so I am going live again, but it's going to be with Everyday Carnivore, Jeff from Everyday Carnivore, Amanda from Carnivorous Me, and Former Fat Girl, which I keep saying that, but I feel bad saying that all the time. But that's her channel name. I think her name is Nicole, and I'm not sure, there might be one other person, but we're just going live this next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going live on all our channels.
Yeah.
So, like, show me some support with all these cool people.
Nice. I'm going to do this one more comment because
hot farts. Oh, not that one.
No, not hot farts. He said hot fats, not hot farts. Also, by the way. But what Janet this one says hot fats. Ian says hot fats.
Oh.
Silver Creek says hot farts.
Okay.
It's just funny. Janet, I had a rash, just like an itchy skin rash on the back of my legs. And when I stopped eating eggs, it went away almost within, I want to say almost completely within about 5 days. And then I made the mistake of eating eggs again. So now I'm dealing with it again. But So
how many different creams or medicines did your doctor give you?
So far, I've had 5 creams.
And cutting out the eggs did it. How did you come up with it thinking that it might be eggs?
Because somebody on YouTube said something about eggs being an allergen and causing skin rashes, and I was like, wait a second, that's my life. And so yeah, it was just it wasn't even something that I had been talking about, but just a random comment when I think you had showed how you were making eggs. And I was like, wait a second, I'm going to at least try this because I don't really like eggs anyway. So cutting out eggs was a lot easier and honestly feels better than rubbing steroid creams and whatever else all over my body for months. I am not enjoying that. So
it's funny. As soon as you said it, I was like, I wonder if the reason you don't like eggs is because you're not supposed to be eating them for some reason.
We were talking about that. I have a friend who doesn't like bread that ended up with celiacs.
Good night, Ricky.
And so it was just interesting because we had that conversation. Abby and I had that conversation in the car today. Is it possible that foods we don't like are simply because our body, because she's declared she doesn't like bread. I'm like, I'm not going to fight you on that. But yeah, just kind of seeing those patterns. And
so yeah, I can't, liver tastes terrible to me. And all my life, I've never liked liver. And then I find out when I'm an adult, I have something called thalassemia. And for a thalassemia patient, your system does not handle iron very well. So it's like you can get iron overload. It can damage your heart. It can damage your liver, all kinds of things. So I'm like, maybe that's why I don't like it, because my system can't handle it. So,
yeah. I also just found out.
It doesn't work in the reverse, though.
That liver has sugar in it and carbs.
See, it's a wonderful thing.
It's like the fruit of the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I really like eggs blended with like cream cheese and then cooked like a pancake with some cinnamon in it. That's my favorite way to eat them. But other than that, I don't like eggs at all. And so it has not been a difficult thing to give up.
So I think we'll wait till the rash goes away and then we'll try egg yolks.
Yeah, we'll just try some yolks and see what happens.
There you go.
Because that's the good part anyway.
You're not wrong.
I got a good recipe that someone shared the other day for eggs. He said, just crack them into a glass and eat them Rocky style. And I was like, I did that when I was a kid to mess with people in my house. Yeah.
I tried quail eggs and got the same results. So we'll see. We're going to try yolks. But yes, I'm with you too. I think having little egg presents every morning out in the cages or at night when Aaron goes out and gets them is delightful.
Yes.
He said they make him happy.
Yes, and if the whole world goes to crap, I can eat for about 35 minutes.
So are we feeding the kids too? Because that's going to change our time frame. So we will see. All right. So Monday they're going to be able to see you live. We've got a couple videos coming up. We've got locals in the works, all kinds of good stuff behind the scenes. You want to talk about that, or?
Yeah, well, you
just tease them a little.
I got a video coming out where I'm whining again, so just give me a little bit of grace. And then a video of our little camping trip also. I mean, yeah, that's a video of our camping trip and some things we're working on. The one thing that I said before we got in there, but thing I was learning today is like I wanted to go through today trying to give God joy and what that would look like. And I've realized by the end of the day, what gives God joy is for me or you or anyone to live their life thankful and appreciative of the grace that he extends to us. Yeah. And so to me, that's like a big deal because I'm hard on myself because I feel like God is calling me to do things that I don't feel comfortable doing a lot of the times, but he's given me the grace to do it. And finding out today really that gives him joy has made my day. So I hope that encourages some of you guys in some ways, like just embrace that grace. It gives God joy. It's like, oh, yeah, that works with my kids too. So awesome. Thank you, Nellie, for hanging out. Thank you, Ephesians 1:7.
God-fearing people too found the right spot. Welcome. Stick around. Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you guys Monday. Watch out for those videos.
Yep.
If you think it helps anyone, just share them because that's what you're supposed to say. So.
Comment, like, and share.
Awesome.
All right. We good?
Yes, we're good.
All right. Bye, guys.
Turtles.
See you later.
Duck face.